At Elements Financial, we provide trusted advice through online articles, quick videos, and live stream workshops that cover a range of valuable topics. And our experts are always here to support you with one-on-one guidance. Learn more at elements.org/advice.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Elements Financial Community Workshop Series. I'm your host, Ron Ellis, and today we've assembled an all-star Elements panel to discuss some seasonal strategies and ideas to help you enjoy a safe and happy holiday season. As always, the goal is to provide a few quick takeaways and tips to help you stay financially well. And joining me today, my all-star cast to provide those tips are Miranda Finley, Ryan O'Connor, Tracy Bruner, and Prajakta Paradkar. Thank you all for being here today.
Thanks, Ron.
Thanks for having us.
I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day. Now I know most of us have felt the impact of inflation and rising prices over the past year, so it's more important than ever to be savvy shoppers. The good news is the businesses we buy from have been impacted too, which means potentially higher inventories, creating a great opportunity for smart shoppers. And Miranda, I know you have the reputation for being a smart shopper and always finding the best deals for just about anything from what I've heard around the credit union. Can you share some of the tools and tricks you use to find those deals and also maybe some financial tips to prevent overspending during the holiday season?
Yeah, I want to tackle the amount of money that people typically spend around the holidays because it can be very easy for that to get overwhelming. And so, according to a survey by LendingTree, the average amount of debt taken on in 2021 around the holiday season was right around $1,250 per household. So at Elements, of course, we're huge proponents of trying to think of ahead and saving when you can. I do that by splitting direct deposit and having a separate account so that throughout the year, part of my paycheck goes into a separate account for gifts that come up throughout the year, and then in particular to help cushion that holiday spending that I have. But if you haven't had a chance to do that, I encourage you to think just a little bit about how you're taking on debt and how you're taking on those balances that you have. So consider the cards that you're putting them on. You want to look at those interest rates and find a card that has maybe a lower interest rate. And then of course, you can always set cash aside. So if you are credit card spending throughout this holiday season, taking the cash equivalent and setting it aside in a separate account to pay that bill in full when it comes is always a great way to make sure that your credit card spending doesn't get out of hand. Also, if you do happen to take on debt, which definitely happens, I always advocate for creating a plan for it. So after the fact, look at what your balance transfer options are, how you can pay less in interest overall. Maybe look at consolidating it and creating payment plans to get rid of that debt as we go into 2023.
Outstanding. And Miranda, too, you were going to touch on, I think, some of the tips you have for being a smart shopper.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to say the biggest thing that's been helpful for me over the past couple of years in finding things, because it seems like it's very hard to hone in on and focus on when the best deal is going to come along. So it used to be Black Friday and then Cyber Monday. And now I feel like sales just run constantly through the holiday season. So browser extensions have been a huge helpful tool for me. So whatever browser you use, you can search browser extensions that are available to you, and they'll help you track items that are going in and out of stock, be notified when those come back into stock, and then be notified if and when they go on sale. And then some of them also run coupon codes for you.
Outstanding. Now, Ryan, obviously there's some good deals to be had out there, but what if you want to do something a little different? Tell me about some unique approaches someone could take for holiday gifting beyond the traditional gift giving.
Yeah, that primary gift experience, right, versus material items could be that play. The primary goal of that approach is to make sure that you're spending time with the person, or you personalize that gift just to match that active lifestyle. The gift can include, from a community impact perspective, an opportunity for the family to get together and volunteer at an organization that means something to each of you. You could even go and make donations on food drives, or you could even sponsor a family and do some shopping for them for the holidays. Beyond that volunteer community impact option, you can also give the gift of unique experiences that are tailored to that person. Here are some ideas for people who cherish memories, things to do, and those really active people. You could get a round of golf in, or for a much larger group, you could go to Top Golf here in Fishers, Indiana, or if you're closer to downtown, you can go to a new place called the Back Nine. If you want to hit the lanes, you could do some duck bin bowling in Fountain Square, or do some traditional bowling at a place like Pinheads here on the north side. You could do a museum experience, or even get some zoo passes at the Indianapolis Zoo. You could get some tickets to the upcoming holiday shows, or even look at getting subscriptions for someone that maybe wants to listen to Audible books, or maybe watch a few documentaries on Netflix, or listen to their favorite tunes on Spotify. The last gift idea that I'd like to talk about in this category, it's called Build Your Own Road Trip. And you can do this in one of two ways. You could build a basket that is personalized for that individual. So it could have a gas card, their favorite travel snacks, get some new sunglasses, or even, that perfect cell phone charger that everybody seems to misplace around the holidays when they're traveling. And then if you want to take an additional step to that, you could even make a trip. And that's something that my oldest son did for my parents and my in-laws. So we did a 3-day, 2-night stay in a city within 4 hours of Indianapolis. So the cool thing about that is once we got the city of choice, we ended up booking a room through Airbnb or VRBO. We were able to find a multi-room place that was a fraction of the cost compared to booking multiple hotel rooms for my in-laws or my parents, and then the kiddos and my wife and I. So as we took that same approach, we then focused on doing some research and looking for fun activities that were personalized to that city. So we looked for the top attractions. We looked for any zoos, and experiences to get out and experience city parks, visit monuments, and then obviously find a nice experience to eat. Right? Let's support local restaurants. So that was the summary of that trip.
Wow, some really cool ideas, a lot of creativity there, which I've come to expect from you. Now, I wanted to shift gears just a little bit, Ryan, and get your thoughts on celebrating the holidays with young children, because I believe you've got 2 young boys and a third one on the way, did you say?
Yeah. The cat is out of the bag. So we have 2 boys today, 5.5 and 2.5, and we will have a third here in April of 23. So, as money starts to get tight and you start to, distribute those funds across 3 versus 2, that can sometimes present some challenges. So I take this opportunity for the holidays to be a great teaching moment for our kids. We do our best to prepare them by establishing traditions. So as we approach the holidays, we start those traditions by cleaning out some toys and cleaning out our dressers, just so we can donate those. And the way that we simplify that and have it make sense for our little toddlers is by saying that someone is going to be able to enjoy those items, much like you had the chance to do that while you had it. So downsizing those, in addition to connecting the dots for the littles, we also make room and kind of declutter, if you will, prior to the holidays as we get new items from not just us as parents to the kiddos, but my parents and anyone else that would give them this.
That's really cool. The idea of repurposing and giving back. Really cool ideas, Ryan, that you share, that you and your family do. Now, Tracy, I wanted to bring you on because I wanted to get your perspective on maybe working with older children, right? So we're talking maybe teenagers, young adults. What kind of strategies do you have when you shop for older children or young adults?
Yes, thank you, Ron. So I have a college student, so I've been shopping for older teens and college students for the past few years. And if you just think about where they are right now in their life and they're wanting to spend more time with their friends, so that it's movie gift cards, it's fast food gift cards, iTunes, their favorite store, things like that. And then as they get older and they become a new driver, you could think of, gas cards, monogrammed keychains, when they become college students, artwork for their dorm room. It could be an Uber gift card to make sure they get back safely. So some of those ideas are what I try to do for my older kids.
Outstanding. And Tracy, I know that you're creative, much like Ryan is. You have a lot of creative ideas. You have a reputation for a lot of creativity during the holidays. So, can you also share some ways to creatively celebrate during the holiday season?
You bet. I love throwing a party. So some of the fabulous ones that we've done before, a progressive dinner. It's the one that we did was in a neighborhood where it was easy to go. You could walk from home to home, and you start with, your appetizer at one house, and then the main course at the next house, and then dessert, and then drinks at the next house. And it's just a fun way to get the whole neighborhood involved in the celebration. Some other ones that we've done are favorite things, Secret Santa exchange, where you make a list of your favorite things, and then you draw names, and then everyone can see the favorite things that everyone filled out. And if you get that person, then you go through what their favorite things are, and you make them like a basket of their favorite things. Another thing that we've done is the ornament exchange, where everybody brings a wrapped ornament to a party, and then depending on what number you get, you pick a gift, and then at the end everybody gets to unwrap the ornament. And what's really cool about that is when you unwrap it, you can share, well, I purchased this ornament because XYZ. And then every year when people decorate their tree, they can think about the reason why that ornament, it makes it more special and sentimental when you know the story behind the ornaments. So those are some things that we've done.
Absolutely. So many great ideas, so many cool ideas. But at the same time, I find myself like thinking there's so much to think about. And I know my goal, your goal, everybody's goal is the desire to make this time of year enjoyable, which leads to a little bit of stress sometimes. Miranda, I'm going to bring you back on and talk to you a little bit about how you manage that. Because again, I've witnessed you. You're good at financial management, good at managing the stress. So, what are some techniques you use to manage the stress during the holidays?
Thanks, Ron. I feel it's important to remember that people just have a lot of stuff and may already feel overwhelmed with the situation that they're in. And then the holidays aren't always the easiest time for people. So, grounding myself throughout the holiday season to remember why I'm celebrating, to really cherish the people around me and the people that I care about are important. And I know Ryan touched on this. It's the thought that counts. And it's not always about how much you've spent or how much you've bought. It's not always about outdoing what you've done previously or what other people around you are doing. I think sometimes it's just about thinking what that other person would really enjoy. So finding thoughtful gifts that tie in special memories, things that people like to do, or things that are important to your loved ones is a really great way. And then my second tip here is that it's okay to create boundaries around gift giving and what you do during the holidays. So if you need to create boundaries around who you spend time with, whether it's a boundary around spending limits, the number of gifts you buy, or even coming up with a formula that's helpful for you in your gift giving. I know a popular one is the rule of 4. So finding something that the person you love wants, something they need, something they will wear, and something to read. That way you have 4 solid gift categories that will benefit them. And it's not always about the amount. It's more about the thought you put into each of those individual gifts that really counts in the long run.
Some great ideas there to manage that stress because I know sometimes it gets to me, and you know, appreciate that feedback from you. All right, so we've covered a lot. We've covered some creative gifting ideas, some creative celebration ideas, smart shopping, some holiday budgeting, and even, thank you, Miranda, managing the stress around the season. But there's one more important thing to consider, unfortunately, and that's avoiding the uptick in fraud schemes and scams. And we're fortunate to have with us on the panel today Prajakta, who is our fraud manager at Elements Financial. And Prajakta, I know that this is near and dear to you because it's what you do every day, but can you talk to us a little bit about what fraud trends we're seeing this time of year, and then maybe even a few tips to stay out of harm's way?
Absolutely. This is the time of the year where we see an uptick in fraud. So I'm going to go like a few things that, we see we should be careful about. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the gift card fraud. So gift cards are an easy and convenient to give during the holidays, especially when you don't know someone or can't think of anything specific to give them. So one of the most important things to look for when purchasing a gift card is to make sure that it hasn't been tampered with. Check the PIN number and make sure that it is still covered by its original coding. Scammers can steal the PIN and the card number, and when you add money to the card, they can drain it into their own account. One more thing to look for closely is the barcodes. Scammers will cover the original barcode with the sticker of their own barcode. So when you add money, it will send it to the scammer's card directly. The next one I want to talk about is charity fraud. So, one of the biggest charitable events in the US around the holiday is the Giving Tuesday, which is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. So, during this time, scammers will disguise themselves as charities to take your money for their personal gains. So, the first thing I would say to look for is to how the charity wants you to donate. Use caution if the charity asks for donation in the form of gift cards, wire transfers, or even straight cash. Reputable charities will not ask you to donate in a specific way and will not ask for gift cards or wire transfers. If you see anyone asking you for monetary donation in a specific manner, don't interact with them. Also, make sure you do your research on the charities you want to support. Most charities will have a website where you can view their mission statement and what your donations will go towards. The Better Business Bureau and IRS allow you to search charities to determine the validity. The next one I want to talk about is package delivery scams. So, online shopping is becoming the main form of holiday shopping, and packages are constantly being delivered by companies such as Amazon, the UPS, and FedEx. Scammers will try to take advantage of this by pretending to be one of these delivery companies and attempting you to click on the malicious link to steal your personal information. In fact, just like a few minutes back, I got a text on my phone saying, "Hey, your package is stuck," and it caught my attention because I did. Deliver something out for the holiday, and I was careful. I just deleted that. So also watch out for texts or emails telling you that your package has been delivered, again has an issue or missing a payment. Check the message for any spelling errors or strange words. If you're not sure and concerned, reach out to delivery company directly. And the next one I want to talk about is money app scams. Zelle, Cash apps are very popular because of their convenience and ease of use. I would say, never use your money app to pay for merchandise during the holidays, and be wary of sites that only accept payment through these apps. Since these are third party apps, and not actual, your credit union or bank, if you make a transaction and turns out to be a scam, it is unlikely that you will get your money back. And also, never give your passcodes out or give access to your account on any of these apps to anyone.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great info. And I would say it's funny that you mentioned the one about sending something out and then getting that text alert. Ironically, I I had that happen to me just a few days ago, and the timing was perfect. I got the text the
Yes.
same day that I sent something out. So thank you for bringing those things to our attention. I know it's nothing we want to think about, but important that we enjoy the season by protecting ourselves during the season. And in that spirit, I'd like to thank everybody, the whole panel. A lot of great info and tips today. Thank you all for joining us. I'd also like to thank everyone out in the audience for tuning in. For those of you interested in additional information on how to best protect yourself from holiday fraud, we actually have a resource available at elements.org/holiday fraud. So make sure you check that out. Also, don't forget to check out our latest Better Money podcast, where we discuss seasonal spending strategies featuring Goodwill of Central and Southern Indiana, which can be streamed on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So again, thanks to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to the panel for some great information. We wish all of you a happy and safe holiday season.